Well, the exotics will begin in race number 2. It'll be the first leg of the bar pot over a distance of 1,200 meters. A few first-timers in the race taking on horses with exposed form. The time to jot down there will be 1,300 hours, which is 1 o'clock. And when you look at this field, there is some form to go around. And of course, the first-timer from Garrett Van Zyle's stable managed to get a comment from him for that runner. Thanks to him, and that's with Anton Marcus up. And this horse is called After the Rain. He says, shown him some good work back home. Also, very nice type, looking for further. But he's expecting this horse to be competitive if he does bring his homework to the course, number 8, After the Rain. And Warren, before we even touch on this field, the one thing that's clear when you go to the index column of whatever form guide you're using, I'm using the computer form, is that Anton Marcus, who's had 8 rides for Garrett for the season, for 6 winners and 2 places, for this meeting alone, he's got 6 rides. So he's had 8 rides for the season, he's got a 75% strike rate, and for this meeting alone, he's got 6 rides. So I think this could be something that was planned.
Absolutely, Dees, and well spotted because, well, Anton, of course, needs no introduction, but the stats are there, that's for sure. With Anton and the Van Zyl Junior yard, the statistics are there, and a lot of punters follow those stats. Well spotted, and absolutely, they could certainly have a big day. A lot of runners for the team, and look to have bright chances. But this race, and I'm glad you mentioned the comment from Gareth about After the Rain, because with no disrespect to the rest of this field, he's not going to have to be a superstar to win this.
You'd think so. I mentioned at the top of this preview that there is some form to work around, and the horse that represents arguably the best form, barring his last start, which was a touch disappointing, and I'm sure Mark Dixon would admit to that, is Trumpet Voluntary, horse number 10. If you take away his last start where he just didn't kick on at the business end of the race, on his 2 previous run, he possibly is the right horse in the race of exposed form.
Correct. Fully agree. That last run, we're just going to draw a line right through horse number 10, Trumpet Voluntary for Kinmounts Racing, the Carlisles. He was ready to win. He ran second to Toothless, second to Cafe Pacifica, and it was a competitive maiden race that day. I don't know if it was you and I that were working on that occasion, but it was a very competitive race. But be that as it may, as you say, it was disappointing. So yes, number 10 does look to be the right one. I do respect a bit of number 7, Crusade Star, Lone Donations horse. Now, the donation yard have been a little bit quiet by their own admission and by their high standards. And this horse, for me, Dees, has only had a couple of runs for Lone. And I can't help but get the feeling he's going to run an absolute cracker come Sunday.
Yeah, they've been good runs as well, and Raymond Dennison sticking with the ride, which is a positive, and nice to see Raymond do a bit of travelling now that he's got a base here in KZN. He's getting chances from respective yards, and yeah, he sticks with the ride, having run 4th last time out. That certainly must be one for trifectas and quartets. But in the first leg of the bipod, Warren, I'm going to take a bold stance and go with Trumpet Voluntary, and I only include one more, the first timer, number 8, After the Rain. I think these 2 horses, the one is an unknown, and the other, I agree with Warren. I did work with him that day when Michael Roberts' horse won. That was Northern War. And that was a hot field. I think a horse called Camaro was in that race, if I'm not mistaken. Paul Lafferty's runner that ran 2nd, and Cupid's Song from the Tony Riverland yard. So that was a hot field, and I think far stronger than this horse meets, barring the first timers.
Okay, so that's our thoughts for the first leg of the bipot. Dees is taking a stance, and why not? Trumpet Voluntary and the first timer from the Van Zyl Junior yard. And I'm going to respect a bit of number 7, Crusade Star. Bipot, that's race 2. We'll be back shortly for race 3.